Well, Scott, I guess the big question everybody has, can you talk about Junior Galette, the decision to sign him? Obviously you talked a lot about adding character guys. He's got a checkered past. What was you all's rationale, and what made you feel good about signing him?
You know what? The thing about it is, we have a process with the Redskins that, on every team we have reports on every player, and we rank them from 1 to 53 in the practice squad guys. It's our job, especially my job, to make sure that 90 is as strong as possible be, and the 53 is as strong as it possibly be. We did a thorough research. We did, we brought them in, met with them for hours, interviewing-wise, and, I've been lucky enough to be in this league a long time, and to be able to talk to the right people on other teams, our own players, and other players, and coaches. A decision was made because we really believe he's a Redskin. And that's why we signed him.
What kind of response did he get you? When you were talking to him, what did he seem like? As he tried to convince you that he was a quality person.
Well, the thing about it wasn't convincing. It was just him being himself. I told him, I said, I want you to be you. Okay. The reason I'm here, sit down with you face to face, one-on-one, hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, doesn't matter. I want to get to know you as a person. That's what matters to me. I know your football ability, but I want to know you as a person. And he is so sincere and so excited about the opportunity to prove that he's a good guy, prove that he's a good football player, prove that he's got a great career ahead of him. It was plain and simple.
How many people are involved in a decision like this? Is the owner sitting on these meetings? Who all is participating in this process?
On this process, it was myself, it was Bruce Allen, and it was Jay Gruden. We all three met with them. I met with them a lot longer than both of them. But it's us three. And when it's all said and done, the final say, it's my call. Right or wrong, doesn't matter, because when it's all said and done, it's on my shoulders. I felt really strong about it.
In April, you said that if there was any kind of questions about anybody who was a bad guy, you wouldn't even bother doing it. What has changed then for Junior?
Well, no, it's not about a bad guy. All players have issues. We all have some kind of issue. We all make mistakes or something. I don't want the repeat offenders. I don't want the guy that I know is not going to be a good guy and bring in our locker room. I think we have a very good defensive staff. We have a very good defensive meeting room where you can bring a guy in and say, okay, you understand you did this, okay, boom. You do it again, you're going to be gone. If you don't do it again, we're rocking and rolling.
If that guy has those kinds of issues, why even bother having that cloud hover over the organization?
Because what you always read in the media and hear from the media is not always accurate, as you're well aware. We did our investigation. We were thorough for the league office and 2 other players in the league, coaches in the league. This guy, we feel very comfortable bringing him on board. Very comfortable.
How do you feel about Alfred Morris and just the value that he's added to the team over the past few years? And what's your mindset as he'll enter free agency at the end of the year?
I think we're very lucky to have a guy like Alfred Morris, not just the player on the field, but the person he is in the building. He's one of those guys that every day he's got a smile on his face, but he goes out there and works his tail off, and no matter what, produces. We're talking, we'd love to have him be a Redskin for the rest of his life, his career. But, things go on, and it takes some time. But, yeah, no, the whole organization respects Alfred very much.
What was the meeting with Junior like then? Can you describe it? And, in terms of having, I guess, you've talked a lot about gut feeling, getting to know guys. How much really research can you do in a 24 to 48 hour period, I guess?
No. We started before 48 hours. We started a while back. We heard the word on. We started a week before doing our research. We evaluate everybody, on every team every year. But, as a player, we knew he was a player. But word got out that he might be released, so boom, we're on it now. We can't contact the league office until he's officially waived or anything like that. So we had to sit back. So I did my research with people. Bruce did his. Jay did his. And, it's a long process. And I promise you guys this, being new here and knowing where we're going and what we want to build, I'm not going to bring a bad guy in here. I know he's a really good football player, which I really respect. But I'm not going to bring a bad guy in here. I will not give on that at all. And I sat with him for 2 hours, and it was very intense, very intense. I mean, to the point where we were almost face to face, telling him what I expected. And if he can't bring it, then we don't want you, because somebody else will sign him. That's a given. I mean, he's way too talented at 27 years old not to be signed. But it was intense.
And just as a follow-up to that, how much does the contract play into that? Because the risk on your side is much lower if there is a relapse or another off the field.
Yeah,
issue.
no. You know, thing about it, it's a good contract for us, but it's also giving him an opportunity to play in the NFL again. You know, and get out here and want to go. You know, and that's what our job is, to bring football players in, make our team stronger, and get an opportunity to be a football player.
Scott, going back to that, there is a video out there with him,
Yep.
and clearly I'm sure you've seen that as part of the research, whatever.
Yep.
How do you watch that, and then when you're talking to him, just how does your opinion change, or just, I guess, that process and just what you thought of that video, of some of the other issues he's had, and being able to rectify that enough to bring him in?
Yeah, I did not like the video at all. As a matter of fact, when I saw the video, it was scary. That's why I wanted to meet with him face to face. That's why I had to sit down with him and ask him what happened. And I got the real story, and I'm fine with that.
What could he say? What could he say that can convince? I mean, without being there, what could he say that convinced you that was to your liking? I guess.
Yeah, just the truth.
Okay.
You know, and like I said, you know, I'm not trying to protect him at all. He's gonna have to prove himself out for us to be with us. But just to talk to him and hear the story, because I want to know it too. It was very important to me, and I got the real story, and I'm okay with it.
Last thing, I'm sorry. How many people do you think you talked to about him?
Oof, over 20.
Scott, you said you've got the real story then on the video. Care to share with us what that was?
Yes,
What was it?
yes. I can't foreclose that.
And then on the other side of it, how assured are you, or maybe you're not even at all, that the league won't have any kind of findings from the investigation that he'll be able to play week 1?
There's a chance. You know, it's still in the process with the league. You know, but we've been in touch with the league the whole time, and you know, especially once he was released, we could really get some more information, and there's a chance something happens. But we're definitely willing to take the chance with that, knowing that he's going to be a Redskin and knowing that he's going to give us, you know, a lot of games.
Scott, have you guys as an organization decided if you're going to, you know, do anything to surround him with some veteran players or?
Well, I
have him
think we
meet with
have that.
anyone?
I think we have that already. Of the guys we signed in free agency this past off season, and the guys that are already here. You know, re-signing Ryan. You know, having Terrence in here. You know, we got guys in place. You know, and it's still, it's our job to make sure he's protected, but it's also his job to make sure he understands what Redskin is and take himself off the field as he does on the field. And I think he understands that.
Scott, when you guys first heard, you got word that he might be available, who was it who kind of came up with the idea that, you know what, maybe this is a target we should go after?
Me.
And so when that happens, do you say, hey, Bruce, let's go after this, and then you had to state your case, or?
No. Bruce and I talk every day. And it doesn't matter about if it's football stuff, if it's family stuff, whatever. You know, my job is to make the Redskins as strong as they possibly can be. You know, this kid's a 27-year-old pass rusher that's got a lot of production that's had some issues in the past. And so I sat down with Bruce, we talked through it, and he says, okay, let's get involved in it and see what happens. He had other options. And for some reason, we talked him into us being the first visit, you know? And he came in, and I'm telling you, when he left my room, the guy was crying. He was sweating. He was so excited to be a Redskin. You know, and that's passion. That's what I'm looking for, is competitiveness, toughness. Now, he has to walk the line, and he knows that. And he will. And if he doesn't, then he's gone. It's plain and simple.
Scott, hard to bring up another topic, but
How you doing?
you have two positions where you have really kind of revamped things, safety and the right side of your offensive line. I wonder
Yep.
if you could talk about how those areas look to you right now.
Thanks for a football question, by the way. I appreciate it. The safety was very important because, you know, they had two veterans last year that were let go, not returning. I'm very lucky to know Deshaun Goldson. I drafted him when I was in San Francisco. Knowing not just the kind of football player he is, but the leadership he brings, the intelligence he brings for not just the position, but for the whole secondary. You know, guys they can trust on. You know, Jerron Johnson, I was very lucky to be in Seattle with him, knowing that, you know, he's been a backup, you know, behind Cam and Earl, which is tough. I mean, but a good special teams player, but also a smart guy and a tough guy and a competitive guy. And both guys have been to Super Bowls. So they're bringing in a ability to know, listen, this is what it's supposed to look like. This is how you're going to go to Super Bowl. This is how defense practice. This is how we take notes. This is how we watch tape. You know, so that was very important. You know, on the right side of the line, it's going to be young. You know, that's all right. You know, we got to start somewhere. You know, and start building. I think right now with Spencer and with Brandon, we have two big body guys that are smart guys and tough guys. You know, are they the most talented guys in the world? Probably not. That doesn't matter to me. I want 5 guys up front that are going to play together. You know, and all of a sudden you have that, then you got a chance to run the ball. Instead of 2nd and 8, it's 2nd and 4. Instead of 3rd and 6, it's 3rd and 3. And all of a sudden helps the quarterback out from the standpoint of play action.
At safety, you've also got Duke, who's been to a Super Bowl.
He's-
How do you see
yep.
him and Jerron complement each other?
They're
or being
battling.
different?
They're competing.
Or are they different from each other?
You know what? They're very similar, to tell you the truth. You know, I know Jerron better because I've been with him for 4 years. But, you know, it's competition. You know what? And all of a sudden, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Whoever 2 is, doesn't matter. Whoever 3 is and 4, if they're not starting, they're on special teams. And both those cats are big-time special teams players. And we have to improve our special teams no matter what.
Back to the non-football questions. Sorry.
Come on. Okay, go
Well,
ahead.
but
Go ahead.
Bashad obviously had the suspension.
Yep.
Were you guys taken aback by that? And just to clarify, was this for the incident from last summer, or was there something else?
I
that
don't
happened
want
in
to
between?
touch base on when the incident happened. We were aware of it, knew there's a chance it might happen, but it's like injury stuff. I don't touch base on that.
And then just your thoughts on losing him, you know, for at least a game, and then the injury he suffered as well.
Yeah, no, he's a really good football player. And you think about it, for a young guy, you want him to be able to go through the process. You know, training camp, getting the reps, getting good players. You know, but it's part of the game. You know, and it's awful. You can't foresee it coming, but it happens. You know, but he's going to be a good player for us. And I think he learned a lot from it, which might be a blessing in disguise. But going forward, he's going to be a good Redskin for a while, a really good Redskin. I've been around some corners now. He's got a chance.
Did you speak with anyone with the Saints about Galette? And if so, how
I don't
many?
want to get in that, but yes, we talked to a lot of people, but I don't want to talk about teams or names or anything. But yes, I spoke with many people that knew him very well.
But with the Saints?
I'm not going to go into teams. I spoke to people that knew him very well. They've been around him for a while. Not just coaches, but players, media, a lot of people. I did a lot. I did too much research, to tell you the truth. I got tired of it.
Yeah, of course.
Topic.
How about a football question? Come on.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
How much do you think your roster has improved, and what would to you constitute a successful season in terms of number of wins?
You know, from the standpoint of wins, doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but I'm not going to put a number on it. I've been very lucky to be around good teams and bad teams. Okay, been here for 6 months now, whatever it is, 7 months. Being able to see this off season and see the coaches excited, see the players getting better every day. That, you know, I'm not going to put a number on it, but I know this. When you play the Redskins this year, you're going to know you played us. You're going to feel us from the standpoint of being physical. The next morning, you're going to be sore. You know, we're not going to win every game. You know, but I'll tell you what, we're going to compete no matter what. You know, and we're going to get after you, and we'll not back down from anything. I promise you. We will not back down. If we do, then changes will be made. But we're not going to. We're going to get after it. And it's, you know, the NFL, there's a lot of parity in it, but also it's about staying healthy. It's about, you know, just knowing that we're playing a very tough schedule. Everybody knows that, you know, who we're playing. But we're going to be a competitive team every Sunday or Monday or Saturday, whenever we're playing, that you're going to know you played us. And that's all I ask for right now.
Time for Coach. So there's your last one.
Okay.
Thanks. Obviously, every front office works a little differently, and you've been consumed with bringing in the best 90, making sure you had the best 90.
Yep.
In this structure, what will be your role in the first and second cuts, getting to 75 and 53? Is that the purview of the coaching staff? In other words, you bring them in, and it's up to the coaches to keep them, or do you have a voice in who's cut as well?
No. I have final say on all the 53. But the coach is going to be highly involved. My personnel department's going to be highly involved. It's not about me. It's about us, and it's very, very important. Yeah, no. It's the whole, you know, building. I have to make the final decisions, but I trust the coaches because they have their hands on them all the time in the meetings and all that. I have faith in my scouting staff. They make decisions about who can and can't play, but I make the final call.
Thanks, Scott.
Yep. Thank you, guys.